kind of just want to punch it. Should I just punch it?
I'm about to beat this bitch up.
I did it.
Hey, listen.
Happy New Year! Woo! Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shaq and today I'm going to be doing my very first TBR of the new year, 2022. Let's go!
Okay, let's go.
So last year I did a lot of themed TBRs where I essentially allowed other forces of nature, whether that be fate or like a video game, pick what I read for the month. And I have a themed TBR for almost every single month of 2022, I'm pretty sure. These are some of my not only favourite videos to film, but to plan, but to edit. So all around, I absolutely love these videos and I plan to do quite a lot of them this year. So to kick off 2022 and my new reading year with a bang, I was actually watching a Nikki Tutorials video where Nikki played Jenga in order to kind of like get ready for the day and control her makeup. And this concept for this TBR is very much so inspired by that video. I had such a fun time watching that video in particular. I absolutely love Nikki Tutorials anyway, but I thought to myself, how can I make this video bookish? And I found a way. I bought a brand new set of Jenga because we do have Jenga in the house, but I can't imagine that my mum would want me to draw on it, and that's exactly what I've done in this video. I have written prompts on various different Jenga blocks. I spent fucking forever doing this at like 1 AM, going through all the prompts and putting certain symbols on them. Some of the Jenga blocks are blank, but let's go get into the prompts that I've put on and the symbols that they kind of correlate to. So I really wanted to kind of like embody my reading goals for 2022 in these prompts. I'll be going a little bit more into detail with these when I reflect on all my reads by tier ranking them. Some of my reading goals for 2022 was to continue reading non-fiction, continue diversifying the things I was reading, so in terms of style, subject matter, and author background. I also would like to this year continue with series that I just kind of picked up randomly. I want to continue finishing them. I want to do loads of rereads again because I'm an avid rereader and I find it very comforting, so I want to continue this tradition into the new year. And overall, I want to read in between 50 and 60 books again, because this year I had 60 and I feel like that's a very good number for me. It's about 6 books a month and I feel like that's a really achievable goal for me, especially if I cram some smaller reads in there. Speaking of, here are the prompts for Jenga TBR. Our first prompt is to obviously reread, like I've already said, and this has been symbolized with a little dot. If I see one of these little dots, that just means that I have to reread a book or pick a book on my TBR that I have read before to read again. Non-fiction is represented by a little star symbol, so again, if I see one of these stars, then I will read a non-fiction book. To represent kind of like diversifying my reading taste, I have done a little squiggle line to symbolize the prompt of reading from a non-white author. I've also created a prompt for a book under 200 pages, so I've done a little like, you know, thingy, shark thingy with 200. Yeah, it makes sense when you see it, okay? I've also decided to do a separate prompt for diversifying my genre interest. If I see a little G on any of the Jenga blocks, then I'll have to read a book from a genre that I am unfamiliar with. Speaking of genre, if there is an R on one of the Jenga blocks, then I'll have to read a romance, because I absolutely love romance and have a lot of them on my TBR. I also have a lot of books on my TBR that have been on there for fucking years, so if I see a little smiley face on a Jenga block, that means I have to read from a book that has been on my TBR for a very long time, aka a TBR veteran. If I see a little like gift, I have to read a book that is either newly required or is a new release. And if I see a little heart on one of the Jenga blocks, I have to read a book with LGBTQ+ rep. I need to pick these blocks without the tower falling, and some of them are empty, some of them have prompts, and the idea of this is to find the prompt and collate books to read during January. So without further ado, let's just jump on ahead into Jenga picking my TBR. I've got on the floor, all right, because you know what, Jenga, risky business, messy business, and I don't want to get this all over my room. When I watched the Nikki Tutorials video, what she didn't say during her content is how hard it is to get Jenga and you in the same frame. It was difficult, alright, but we managed it, we're here. The aim of the game is to not make this fall over, and to be honest, my setup at the moment is not very sturdy. We're gonna go ahead and take our first piece. I can see a few of them are literally wobbling already. We're gonna go ahead and pick this one. The whole thing is wobbling. Right, okay, I'm gonna still commit to this one. Oh my god, it's literally gonna fall. It's gonna fall. It's gonna fall. Okay, I've got the first one and it's blank. We have to try and find ourselves a prompt. Oh, this one's quite loose actually. Me and your mom, me and your mom, me and your mom. So I picked this one. Does it have a prompt? It does! is for romance. So we found one. We need to go for 4 more. Oh, which one do I pick next? Does this have a prompt? I'm holding it. I'm so sorry. This one is also blank. So we put that back on the top. Mum, right. Where are the prompts, Shaq?
Where's the lamb sauce?
Where are the prompts? They're both coming. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, okay. They're both coming. It's going to fall. This is so anxiety inducing. This one has a little smiley face. So the smiley face is for me to read a TBR veteran. So a book that's been on my TBR for a long time. I probably would say more than 3 years. This one is blank though. So we're going to go ahead and put this back first. Where are we going to go next? Where now? This one's quite loose. Din, 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 din. I have a feeling this is going to fall. Oh my God. Okay, I did it. This one has a G on it. So I have to read a book that is out of my comfort zone in terms of genre. So that's going to be very interesting. Next, we've got 2 more. So let's try and get some good ones. This one's quite loose. Oh my God, it's shaking. Okay, this one has a heart on it. So this is for our LGBT plus rep. I'm really glad that I've got one of these actually because I really wanted to read some of these this year. This one seems to be pretty easy. Nothing's really tying this one down. So hopefully this one has a prompt on it. This one also has a smiley face. So this is another TBR veteran. So we do now have 5 books to pick from because the Jenga Gods have blessed me. We've got a romance novel. We've got 2 TBR veterans. We've got a book with queer rep and also a book from a genre that's out of my comfort zone. Really good reads, a very diverse bunch. So let's go ahead and see what we can find. I have now had a little rummage throughout my bookshelves and I have actually successfully and quite quickly found books I actually want to read in January. So our first Jenga block had a little R on it, and obviously this stands for romance. I decided to go ahead and pick Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert for this one because I read 2 of the other Brown Sisters books last year and thought I would carry on that tradition this year. The Brown Sisters trilogy is made up of 3 books, one following Chloe Brown, one following Danny Brown, and then this one is following Eve Brown. Eve is apparently a certified hot mess. No matter how much she strives to do right by herself, life always goes horribly wrong. An event in Eve's life kind of makes her parents see that she really does need to act her age and grow up a little bit. She works as a chef, I'm pretty sure, at a B&B, and I think when her boss breaks his arm, Eve is basically like fluttering around him, wanting to help, and she basically can't do enough for him. I believe this is enemies to lovers, I think. So I'm really excited for this. I really did enjoy Talia Hibbert's books last year. Take a hint, Danny Brown, spoiler alert, will be on my top 10 books. You have to watch that video to find out where it places. Talia Hibbert has turned into one of my auto-buy authors, one of my favourites now, and I'm really excited to get into Eve Brown this month. Thank you, Jenga Gods! So during Jenga, I pulled 2 Jenga pieces with this little smiley face on. This is a prompt to read a TBR veteran. Now, in my mind, a TBR veteran is a book that's been on my TBR for longer than 3 to 4 years, and now it's 2022. These books have been on my TBR for fucking ages. The first one is We Should All Be Feminists. It's basically, I think, non-fiction. This really small, bite-sized, tiny collection of essays telling us why we should all be feminists. It's been on my TBR for a very long time. I'm not sure if it's like the right version because I never really imagined it to be this small. But I got it for Christmas, that's my birthday, and I can't wait to read it. It's been on my TBR for a very long time. In fact, both of these books have been on my TBR since 2017. My second TBR veteran probably isn't a book that is well suited for my moods in January, but that is You by Caroline Kepnes. Now, this obviously was a hit Netflix TV show, I think maybe 2018, 2019. But I wanted to read it like ever since 2017. Actually, I put these 2, this book and the last book, We Should All Be Feminists, on my TBR on Goodreads at the same time. So they're both 5 years old on my TBR and I need to read them both, which is why I've picked them both. Moving on to our next Jenga block, we picked out a G, which represents a genre in which I am not the most comfortable, out of my comfort zone. I decided to go from a very stark in contrast to the previous book, and that is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I have heard, again, nothing but good things about Little Women. Everyone has read it and I haven't, and it's been on my TBR for quite a long time. Actually, probably a TBR veteran if we're being honest. But in addition to being a TBR veteran and being on my TBR for so long, it is definitely in a genre that I am not overly comfortable with because it is a classic and a lot of people love it, and I'm scared that if I don't love it, I'll be shunned from the society. Little Women is basically about a bunch of sisters whilst their father is away at war. This book basically follows each of their individual paths and how each of the sisters grow up and in turn maybe grow apart. I've heard a lot of good things about this. Again, it is a classic. It is obviously loved for a reason. It's not too long and the text doesn't seem too intimidating. After reading Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier last year, I'm really just up for reading more classics and this seems like a really good place to start. And finally, we got our beloved Heart Block. This symbolises a book with LGBTQ+ rep. The book in question that I've chosen is actually this will be my third time reading this, and that is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Yes, there was a prompt in the Jenga comeuppance to reread stuff, but I didn't pick one out, and I still want to reread this, and it is queer, so why wouldn't I read it? Why not? This is essentially about Evelyn Hugo, who was a starlet in the 1950s. In one time perspective, we see her in real time in the 50s, living out her dreams, her best life, her climb to Hollywood, and of course, each of her 7 husbands. In present day, we see a journalist called Monique trying to capture her life in a memoir under really tense circumstances. This book is absolutely incredible. This is one of the books I would definitely say that is worth the hype online, because it is not only written beautifully, it's not only well researched, has good representation of queerness coming from someone who is queer, but also just packs a punch, and it just kind of like rewards repeat viewings of it and repeat readings, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. Well, there you have it. Those are the 5 books that Jenga picked out for my January TBR. I do have a 6th book on my TBR, but that is coming in a very secret vlog, which may be just after this one, so keep your eyes peeled out for that one. But these are the books I'll be reading in January. Let me know in the comment section below what books you'll be reading. If you like this video, please give it a massive thumbs up, and my channel and subscribe for more bookish content. I hope that you've had a lovely, lovely, lovely Christmas and New Year. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!